Now, it's not only its population within China's own borders that the Beijing government keeps a very close eye on. Reportedly, it's also doing the same on the many Chinese nationals traveling or living abroad, in some cases via the use of monitoring posts or what some are even calling police stations set up in several foreign countries, including, according to a just published report, one here in Israel. And our senior correspondent, Bianca Zanini, is here. An intriguing report, even if some of the details are sketchy here, Bianca.
Absolutely. And I want to take a step back to try to explain, just to give a big picture for the viewers of just how complicated and murky and suspicious it all really is. In early September, this organization called Safeguard Defenders documented 54 clandestine Chinese police stations around the world. Most of them were in Europe. Just in Italy alone, there were 11, according to the organization. And just recently, they came out with a new report and they found 48 additional ones, including one here in Israel. Now, there's not a lot of information. They don't know about the location or anything specific about it, but I'll return to the Israeli angle. But according to them, this is all, these offices around the world were opened under the guise of helping tourists, Chinese citizens living abroad. Some of these places, the Chinese government said, were opened to help Chinese citizens during the COVID pandemic, although the opening times of the offices didn't match. Some of them go back to 2016, so there are a lot of discrepancies here, and the organization says that they have been able to document that the offices were instead being used and are instead being used to harass and intimidate Chinese citizens and to persuade many of them to come home. Right. Now, one of the things they pointed out was that between April 2021 and July 2022, the Chinese police outside of China persuaded 230,000 Chinese people to go back to China, to move back. They said some of them were fugitives, but then again, they said they didn't really commit any crimes. So it's all sort of murky, and it's worrisome because it is, if this is in fact correct, it is illegal. They're not choosing to use the legal avenues, which is, of course, something that exists, and governments cooperate with these things all the time. And we have had pushback from some government. Ireland and Netherlands closed down the offices. So far, we haven't heard anything here in Israel. We haven't heard anything from the Chinese embassy here either. But there is a report from the Jerusalem Post saying that Chinese students here in Israel have been approached by the Communist Party representatives, asking them to gather information about others in the community. So it seems like there's a big picture, and that although they don't have a lot of specifics about the office here in Israel, it's part of a bigger puzzle that they've been working on for years.
Well, I could just say it certainly does not sound out of character for the regime in Beijing, but we'll see if we get some more details, especially on the situation here in Israel. Bianca Zanini, thank you for that.